listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling sex, drugs, and skincare. Like and subscribe. Hey, welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Skincare. I'm Nikki Davis Jr. I am a licensed comedian, stand-up esthetician. Thank you for laughing at that. You're the only one. It never gets new. I say it every week.
But it's nice. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
You do it because 1 out of 106 will laugh at it.
That's right. This is episode 106.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
rad.
pretty cool.
Alex was saying what?
He laughs every episode. Okay,
yes,
well,
that's true.
nice.
Oh, okay, good.
That's nice of
we
you.
couldn't hear you.
Yeah, and being on 106 means that like every other person we weeded through. Now we know the people we want on the podcast. Everyone else was just blech.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Now we're finally.
You're like finally ready.
Dear
for it?
friends
Yes,
of ours,
exactly. Yeah,
dear
that was
friends
a
of ours.
practice run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
They say 105. You know, get those are all rehearsals.
Yeah.
And then once 106 on, that's the.
Yeah. So we're golden.
We're good. We're good.
I've been doing natural skincare, buccal massage, structural facelift for over 25 years. And Sandro is here.
Mm-hmm.
Sandro Yocolano,
Yep.
boyfriend, Sherpa, set decorator,
Yep.
co-patient with our couples counseling.
Yep.
What's that?
Co-client.
Co-client.
Client?
Yeah.
Ironically, I am not trained in buccal massage or facial massage or am licensed in anything.
That's true.
So isn't that weird? Isn't that ironic?
No.
I
Is
don't
it
know.
ironic?
Don't you think?
I don't feel like I don't think
I don't
it's
know.
a little too ironic.
Huh.
Don't
right.
you think?
Mm-mm.
Nobody
What-
gets
what are
the
you
joke
talking
except
about?
us. I know. Alex got it.
That's why I
Okay.
said it.
Okay.
You got to be subtle with this stuff. You can't just say people. It's a
That's how a good comedian works. They're so subtle that you don't even.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
no, because it's like I mean, yeah.
That's how I work anyway.
more set. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
everything is an inside joke
See?
for me.
This-
I get it. Yeah, and
You're good.
I say it inside.
You're so stupid.
I know.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thanks for pointing
love
it
it.
out. I appreciate it.
Well, you don't want to say an inside joke outdoors. People look like you're an idiot.
It's so
like,
true.
What are you doing? We're camping. Don't tell a joke that we could have said inside.
Speaking of setting aside,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's stop talking.
no, it's okay. We don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I had a pretty good week. I started sweating more because it got a little hotter out,
Yeah.
so that felt good. And other than that, no, I've been good. I've been trading. I've been trading, not going into the market for making money cash wise. So things are going pretty well.
Perfect.
I've been selling other people's Bitcoin, hacking into their accounts. I have no idea that I'm doing it. Things are going fine.
Okay, it sounds
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah. But I'm excited for today's guest because
Me too. We should probably just get to
that's
it.
what I was going to say.
But I just want to point out, because I don't ever mention this, is Sandro is a paid regular at the Comedy Store.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
forget.
going to be. I'm just going to X out. I'm going to cross out Nikki Glazer's last name and put my name after it.
Right. Your phone wants to spell your first name that way anyways.
That's true.
It always wants to put 2 Ks instead of the CK.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so if you're ever driving by on Sunset, he's right behind the parking sign.
yeah. So if you drive by on Sunset and you see my name behind the park, move the parking sign so you see my name.
Yep.
The producers have done that on multiple occasions,
Yeah.
and I appreciate
they're
it.
Very sweet.
Yeah. And then Nikki's, we're advocating vandalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today we are going to talk about is it psychology? Therapy?
We don't know. Mental health.
Mental health, that's what it was. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about mental health and skincare. This is a first for us. We have never combined the two. We've done some somatic things. We've done but we haven't done this much of like,
Like parallels right to it, you mean? Or just like,
and the good and the bad. We're going to get to the
Yeah.
good side of it and focus sort of like taking a look at, the way people are seeing themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe in
that's
a bad way.
fascinating to me because
is to me, too.
there's days that I see myself completely different in the mirror, or I see myself completely different in my head,
Mhm.
and it's good or bad, and it completely shifts. So I'm very curious on how that actually affects.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited. Okay, cool. So let's bring her out. So she is a licensed therapist.
Mhm.
Was there some
I'm just a licensed therapist.
okay, yeah, she's a licensed therapist.
I
She's-
mean,
she's got a lot more to her than that.
I'm sure.
yeah.
I'm sure I do. I probably do.
Okay.
But I think we talked about I have a practice.
Yes, she has a
A
practice.
group one where people work underneath me. And I have a podcast too.
Oh, and she has a podcast too. What's it called?
Zannyland.
Zannyland?
Yeah. It's mental health too, but I talk to comedians specifically about mental health.
She's
so.
already invited me and not you.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I'm busy whatever day that is.
Yeah.
Well, someone told me you were a licensed therapist, so I didn't
Yeah.
want you on the show.
You don't want me on the show. No, it makes sense. You just want licensed comedians.
By the way, I'm not a doctor, in case you're wondering.
Mhm.
I lost my license on that, and so I don't give medical advice. Anything you receive from me is don't believe it.
Yeah.
It's for
It's just an
purposes
opinion.
only. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just
Entertainment purposes only. It's only, just make skincare into an art form,
yeah.
Yeah, that's all we do. That's it.
All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring you out. I'm gonna
Okay.
say your name. We're gonna switch, and it's gonna be like that. So coming to the couch right now, Alicia Racine Fink. Yes. Alicia Fink. No.
Okay.
Alicia Racine Fink.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Okay. Got it.
That was so good. And your name is Nikki.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. See, she got yours
She
the first
got it
time.
right off.
Oh, wow. With a CK.
Yeah, with a CK.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
Like
thanks
Louis.
for coming. Yeah. Like Louis CK, my favorite comedian.
Yeah. It's not Louis KK.
No. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
so excited to be on. And I love your earrings.
Oh, thank you. The pizza.
Yeah.
It's they're festive.
They're so cool. I have watermelon earrings. I wish I had known.
Oh yeah, we should. Next time you come on, we'll do
coordinate.
food based. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You're wearing a very cute outfit, by the way.
Thank
It's like a
you.
little eyelet. Is that what that's called? Yeah.
I think this is called eyelet.
I love
You
it.
know what? It felt nice today. Like you were talking about how it's getting warm
Mhm.
and you're starting to sweat again. I got
Mhm.
really excited because I was like, I feel
Yep.
like I can wear a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a
love
very
it.
springtime outfit.
It's
Yeah.
cottony. It's not. We're like trying to stay away from the synthetic stuff, which I'm decked out in right now.
You're just wearing spun plastic.
When I sneeze,
Yeah.
just like blue fuzz comes out of my nose. I know, spun plastic. That's
Yeah.
it. That's really what it is. But thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about the
Skincare?
connection between skincare and mental health.
Well, first I wanted to, I mean, how do I even start, right? It's like skincare is the best. I wish it was my other career. It could be my other career. I spent way too much time on it for good and bad reasons is why I'm here today. But in general, I thought we could start with talking about skincare routines and the ritual. I know you teach skincare routines, and I sort of wanted to add this little fun element of it can be a gateway drug,
Uh-huh.
if you will, to a self-care practice that I feel like most of us need we really need right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk maybe a little bit about what I do in my skincare routine and how I've sort of used, did anybody read that book? Was it Habit? What was the book that came out? Everybody read it.
Everybody but me.
I can't remember. Anyway,
Yeah.
we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But habit stacking is something where like you already have one good habit, one ritual,
Mhm.
and then you add on to it. So
Okay.
maybe you're already gua sharing your face. And for example, like every night I will hum like while I'm doing something.
Right.
Oh.
Because that automatically stimulates the vagus nerve.
Did you know that?
I know humming was good for you. I didn't really know exactly.
His mom just got here from Florida.
Yeah.
She hums all day
Constantly
Oh, really?
humming.
Mhm.
And she's just she's
long. She's
Was she a
always in a
singer?
good mood. No, she's always liked to sing and like play the piano, but she just
Okay.
loves humming.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, it's a really cool one. Like, it's not one you maybe want to do at the grocery store, but this is why
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
in your bathroom at night where you add in a little humming, it
Mm.
stimulates that vagus nerve. And then we're already telling our body it can downregulate, right? We're activating this parasympathetic nervous system again.
Mhm.
And we kind of we need that throughout the day.
Oh my
And so
God,
it's just a
yes.
great somatic. I know you brought up having someone somatic on here. It's
Yeah.
a great, easy somatic term or practice that you can just add like lovingly to whatever it is, you teach people to do and what I do at night. So it was a fun
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I was just going to say, I do, when I take a shower, I put on my sexy body affirmations at the same time. So I go, and it accidentally went to his car the other
You
day,
put
and it's
them on?
like, I am hot as hell. No, I put it like on my phone. I turn it on while I'm taking a shower, and it's just like 8 minutes of just like every
Is it
day.
you saying it?
No, it's like some other lady. She's
That
like
would be-
maybe like Latina,
Oh.
and she's like, I receive lots of compliments, but it's like it just goes on, and I just repeat it as I'm doing it, and it's I think it's helping.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Amazing.
I didn't even know I was
I'm
doing
gonna add
that.
that to my routine.
Perfect.
You should add humming.
Yeah. I'm going to for sure. I'm going to.
Wait, I want sexy body.
I'll send it to you.
affirmations.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you do that while you're showering.
Mhm.
You're doing your thing. You're smelling your smells. That's fantastic.
It just
That's
kills
habit
two
stacking.
birds with one stone. You know,
Yeah.
you don't
It's
have to worry.
perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do any kind of meditation while you're in the shower, mindfulness. Basically, we're talking about creating a mindfulness practice
Yeah.
with skincare. And then I think people are already really getting into skincare nowadays, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, when you do your skincare ritual, how does it feel? Or what do you teach people?
That's two different things.
Two different questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My skincare ritual probably isn't as much as you might think. I'm kind of lazy.
Oh.
So
I love it.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I would tell somebody is, you know, you would want to, if you're going to wash your face, wash it at night.
Yeah.
Right? Did I say that before?
Mhm.
Yeah. Wash it at night. You don't need to wash it in the morning, right? Yeah, because you're washing the dirt off at night, and then you don't want to wash it in the morning necessarily.
I do that right.
Yes. Oh,
Okay,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. People are overwashing.
Yeah.
And it's
Do you double cleanse at night?
you can, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It just depends, yeah. If you're wearing a lot of makeup, it's probably a good idea.
I'm just like a sunscreen lather because of this.
Yes.
So
You're gonna need double cleanse.
Yeah,
after the
I double
sunblock,
cleanse because of that. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and then also, I like a nice hydrating serum underneath. Maybe something, a spray with like hydrogen water, like molecular mist, like deuterium oxide with D2O.
Ooh, what's
That's just
that?
like if you're fancy. It's
Okay.
just yeah.
You didn't say DMT, did you?
No, I did not
Okay.
say DMT. Yeah, it's a different one. That's why I was in the bathroom so long.
Yeah.
There's a little green man.
I'm in a
standing
different
on my
dimension.
shoulder.
She never comes out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
She fell into the tub. What? I don't know. Yeah.
She
I
took the
became the
ritual
tub.
really
Yes.
seriously,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
became like an
Yeah.
ayahuasca ceremony.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
throwing up.
We're not saying that.
There's a shaman in there with me.
Yeah, that's right.
For skincare ritual, I take ayahuasca on my skincare ritual every night.
That's
wow.
perfect.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh
awesome.
my god.
Too much money on ayahuasca.
That's
though.
so funny.
Yeah.
And then what else? Just like a light moisturizer, depending on what kind of skin you have, or sunscreen, sunblock. And I don't tell every single person to just cover their face in sunblock
Yeah.
or sunscreen,
Yeah.
especially if it's chemical.
Yeah.
If they're super fair, yes, use mineral sunblock. That's what I think. And if you're and I think it's just nice to not have it on.
Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
I actually check my weather app to see what the UV index is.
I do that too.
Oh, you do?
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm obsessed.
That's her
Yeah.
favorite app. The weather app is her favorite app.
Yep, it is
It is.
actually.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
know. I didn't know that.
It's
I didn't know that.
fascinating.
But I just check it because I'm like, do I have to wear sunblock today? Is there any chance I can get
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
without
yeah.
sunblock for a minute? Like, I need my skin to breathe.
Yeah,
But otherwise,
wear a big hat.
yeah, I do. I'm not really a big hat person. I wish I was. Should I start that?
Yes, it's way easier, and it's just so much nicer on your skin.
It's so much nicer on your skin.
Yeah.
Nikki's a big hat person. In fact,
Yeah.
one of the first times we were hanging out, we had a big hat on and we were hiking, and she just walked right into a tree. I watched her do
No, I
it.
didn't.
I watched her do it.
You
and I
did
remember,
that. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was you. I remember you walked into it, and I actually said out loud, I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah,
because I thought she was
did you do
joking.
it on purpose?
I'm like, "Did you do it on
You
purpose?"
guys need a big hat line now. You need
Yeah.
to just like
Oh my
add
God,
that to the whole
yes.
thing.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
You guys make your own hats.
Mhm.
We
Like a
all
big-
wear them.
Like a sombrero with like bumpers on the end of it. Oh man.
Protective bumpers.
Yeah, is that a hat or an
That's so
eclipse?
funny. I really should get into hats. But I'm really into I wear sunblock like it's my skin.
Yeah.
But I have to. My mom has had melanoma like
Mm.
too many times.
Yeah.
And so I'm really protective of my skin. But I do check to go like we're at like a 1 or a 2. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing this today. I can take
No,
a
no,
break.
no. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think? Is that okay? 1, 2, 3?
Here's the thing.
What do you say?
You're not going to get burned for sure. UVA rays, I don't believe that the strength really decreases much when the sun's up or down.
Okay.
So as long as the sun is, if you're getting sun right to your face,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure of this, but I think you might still be getting the rays that penetrate your skin and
Mm.
can sort of corrupt your DNA and make you older. So
Right.
I wouldn't sit and bake at 6 o'clock even and just having the sun right in your face.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, if you're just going out and just like getting into your car, you're going somewhere where you're not just going to be like sitting with the sun on you. Or
Yeah. If
and-
it's like a super
Mm.
gray day. level 2. I'm
well,
okay.
yeah, but also 80% of the sun's rays still come through on a cloudy day.
Oh God,
I
so
know,
I
right?
should actually be wearing it every single day.
I know it sucks. I heard of a lady, this girl Sadie something. She was like, wear it inside. And I put on on the comments. I was like, why? Is it because of the windows? And she said, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, you could just tell people to not have windows or not stand in the window because it does come through your window.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, in the car, I know it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that. Like, you really should, especially in the car, actually have, because one side of my face will have like more freckles than the other.
Oh yeah.
But I try to give myself a break. But I will tell you, I think that the blue light from the computer too, like I'm on the computer all day. We have to sort of protect ourselves from that.
I literally just changed my phone to the like the amber color.
Oh, like is it constantly? Can you do that?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
And it's better it's not as addictive. There's a whole other addiction of people with there's a whole thing. I saw
Yeah.
it on
More
Instagram,
mental
so you
health
know it's
tips
true.
right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where people get addicted to the blue light for some reason.
Oh.
And it was something, somebody came up with something, and then it ended up in Vegas. And in Vegas, they want you to be like, nee, 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 nee.
Oh yeah, with like they pump the oxygen in and they're
Mhm.
pumping the blue
Yeah,
light
yeah,
in. And
yeah.
you're like, I'm never going home. Yeah.
Free alcohol. Yeah.
yeah. You can
exactly.
basically change people's mindsets and
Wow.
basically steer them to where you want them to go and where you want
Yeah.
them to be with it, just by the blue light,
Yeah.
just by triggering parts of the brain.
So
Isn't that
crazy.
It's amazing.
nuts?
So that's why as soon
Yeah.
as I heard that, I was like, no, I just changed it
Amber
last
all
night.
day.
Yeah. Yep.
Amber all day. So anyway.
Yeah, so you know what?
So
You
I
can
had-
interrupt me by anytime you need to. I'm serious because I need you to keep on track because I don't know what you're gonna say.
We're keeping on track.
Yeah.
But I am really excited we talked about sunblock.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
sunblock is really important.
Mhm.
And it is really important to me. It is authentically something that I should talk about, that I wear it all the time. I try to check the UV. I have like a filter on my computer. I'm going to make it all amber now. I do use mineral
Good.
because I heard that like that helps balance it as opposed to just,
Yeah.
But also you're not getting so many chemicals.
Baked into your skin. Yeah.
And it's thick. So I have to wash it off twice at night.
Mm.
And that's a great opportunity to do things like mindfulness, listen to sexy
Yeah.
ass affirmations, do your humming while you're massaging your face, maybe massage your little lobes of your ears
Okay.
Yeah.
and even like here in your ears.
Uh-huh.
And whenever I do this, I'm like, oh my God, it feels so good. That also stimulates your vagus nerve.
Mhm.
So really just sort of adding that
Yeah.
on to like, let's say if you were teaching a massage routine to
Yeah.
the face, which I know you do,
Uh-huh.
right? On your Pantheon or whatever.
On my Patreon, I do the
Patreon.
and I
The
teach it
Pan-
at the Pantheon.
She
though.
at the Pantheon
Yeah,
in
we had a-
Rome.
Yeah, in Rome.
Go there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No one has shown
Thanks,
up yet.
guys. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
so good.
No,
now.
but I'm saying like we should go to the
Next.
Pantheon
I know.
now.
We definitely should go.
Next.
Don't
yeah.
ever apologize for bringing up Rome.
No. And I wash my hair with Pantene.
What's up with men
That's
in
right.
Rome?
Pigs, you mean? Just. Ugh.
Oh, really?
Is that what you're referring to? A little bit.
No, I just heard that men like are obsessed with Rome these days.
Oh, really?
Did they what?
They're just obsessed with
Oh,
Rome.
men
oh,
are
really?
obsessed with
Oh,
Rome.
interesting.
Roman
Prob-
history.
Probably because like they think it's like a conquering thing, and maybe men realize that like there were a lot of people back then that were like a lot of man-on-man relationships,
Yeah, yeah.
and so a lot of men
Oh.
don't want to admit that they want man-on-man relationships, so they just say,
Man on
"Hey,
boy
are you
relationships.
Roman?"
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they wink,
Oh.
and they know it's like, "Oh yeah," and
Now
then they
I
get
know.
together.
I'm not sure if he could be lying about that.
I'm 100% bullshitting, but it could make sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
So cute.
I'm
Okay.
not a lawyer.
So what were we talking about?
So we were talking about.
Oh, you massaging.
Oh, I teach
At the
a
Pantheon.
self-massage class at the Pantheon.
Yes.
You can get great tickets right now on Expedia. But yeah, we do the face with our hands,
Yeah.
and we also we do work on the ears.
So, yeah.
I do
amazing.
everything. Also, like I would like put my hands behind my, it's to sort of release the part of the vagus nerve that's back here.
Oh yeah.
I
the
think it's really
occipital
important. Yeah, the
area.
occipital part. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now that's all mental health right there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that anything that you can do to self-relax, self-soothe is really important.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. And so I think integrating and habit stacking all these things into your routine, but also just having the ritual. I think even though you said you're lazy, it doesn't sound that lazy. It still sounds like you wash off your makeup and
Yeah.
put on some things
Yeah.
at night. And do you massage too at night, or is that a different part of the day?
Oh, you mean to myself or other
Yeah,
people?
To yourself.
You know what I do is I sit and I watch TV and I I play with my lips or, or
Oh.
like I'll, just do some, it's mindless sort of massaging,
Yeah.
and then I'll do like neck exercises and things like that. But I don't do like a full on massage.
Okay.
I'm trying to find
So
somebody to
basically, it's kind of what happens to me is you take care of other people all day and then, right? We're just like,
yes.
yeah, we're just like,
But you
That's
have
it.
like your nighttime routine. You definitely take care of yourself. You make
Mhm.
sure that you're all set. Like like take stock in yourself and like,
yeah. I think it's really important. It creates self-worth. I
Mhm.
think that a
Totally.
ritual is really
Mhm.
great before bed.
I love it.
So I don't know, maybe we're saying obvious things in a sense, but I feel
okay.
like any woman that really wants to get invested in this or wants to take time to learn this massage or then wants to add on any type of routine where you can have vagus nerve or mindfulness is really fantastic. And if you really can focus on, I think, skincare as a way of self-care and as a way to like enhance or make yourself feel good, it can be really positive.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
there's the other part.
Let's talk about the and then. That's the fascinating part for me is the and then.
Well, it's interesting because when I first suggested it to you, I was like, is she going to want me to talk about this? Because in some ways it is going like, whoa, hold on. Skincare is awesome,
Yeah.
but it can go too far.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And we are living in a world where women are, it is like, I think there's a med spa on every corner.
Mhm.
I don't even know. People are like only talking about the tariffs because they now can't get their Korean skincare.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Oh,
That's
it's
so
been
funny.
everywhere. And it's only because I follow it because I'm also
Right.
an addict of skincare. And so
way.
and I know a lot about this actually because I've had my own stuff. Funny enough, I wanted to do during the pandemic a YouTube called The Drunk Esthetician. And
I
it
love
was
this.
me playing a character where I was pretending to be an esthetician and my name was not Alicia, it was Alicia.
Mm.
And Alicia had a Boston accent because that's where I'm from. And she would talk about skincare, but like while drunk and like, kind of just like,
I love that.
know,
Yeah.
kind of teaching real stuff, but like effing it up at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I started it out and it was the pandemic. So we were all not well during this time. And I started to really dig deep into skincare videos and to skincare everything. And it became kind of compulsive
Yeah.
Mm.
where I was doing it to learn at first, but then I started watching and watching and watching and watching and watching. And unfortunately, the beauty industry believes in homogenized beauty
Mm-hmm.
where we all are supposed to essentially look the same,
Mhm.
like a Kardashian,
Yep.
apparently.
Yeah.
Or an alien or whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I had already had some sensitivities around this joweling that's like happening right here. I'm 47.
Oh my God. You don't look it and come see me anyway.
What?
Yeah.
100%, right? But like
Yeah.
I already had sensitivity around this part of my face. And I always have because I've always had a bit of a chubbier face here. And this was, I'm mostly Irish Catholic and like this is what we look like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my great grandmother, I think she had like, she developed these like little kind of hangy jowl
Right.
things. So I've always had this sensitivity around it. I fought it. I have already fought it a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then with that sensitivity aligned with, I think, some of the isolation of the pandemic, aligned with just the addictiveness of the blue light.
We're all staring at our faces on every app too. Zoom, you're looking at yourself all day
Yes.
long.
Yep. And honestly, FaceTime is cruel. What
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
FaceTime doing? Well, I look so, I actually kind of like how I look on Zoom. I think I get kind of hot on Zoom. But when I get to FaceTime, it's like, what
no,
is
FaceTime
this
is scary. Yeah, yeah,
creature?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
look like Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
on FaceTime.
He was hot.
Like, and every young person I know wants to call me on that,
Oh,
including my
no,
daughter.
no,
And then I
no.
like get off and I just hate, it's hard.
You answer it like this, and
Yeah.
you're like, no,
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
the- down here.
Yeah.
And so I really personally, even as a therapist with everything that I've worked through, didn't realize that the videos were becoming compulsive. I didn't know. So I started to really struggle. Also, aging is hitting me. So a lot of things were hitting at once. And I myself started to go like, okay, I'm really not feeling well about how I look.
Mm.
And the skincare routine isn't necessarily the skincare routine because I associate it with some positive things. But the wanting to change, the wanting to, so essentially what I found out is that it was body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is based off of perceived flaws. Perceived flaws are associated with this homogenized beauty because it's something that doesn't fit. And this is such an interesting fun fact I thought everyone should know. When people think about body dysmorphia, they're thinking about the body.
Right.
Really? Actually, no. It's 90% is neck up.
Wow. I had no idea.
So many men come body dysmorphia around hair loss.
Oh my God. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, and it's perceived hair loss. Sometimes they're not even really losing it or losing it at a rapid rate.
So what you're saying is my face isn't the problem. It's my body. So I have body dysmorphia about my body, but my body's gross. Yeah. My face is okay.
Oh, you're saying basically you're going, I don't have body dysmorphia.
Yeah, I don't have body dysmorphia.
Because you're not worried about.
Yeah.
Well, you could be the 10%. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's great because I don't think people are realizing that it mostly does affect the neck up. Mm-hmm. It's called body dysmorphia, but it's mostly the neck up. And the neck up, I think, obviously there's a lot going on with the body and there's so many other diagnoses that go with that and there's eating disorders and there's all these other things. But I think it's really important for us to address here because we're mostly talking about the face. And I think mostly what you work with is the face. Mm-hmm. And again, I think that it can be a great routine. But also what I wanted to talk about is when do we cross the line? Yeah. And how do we cross the line? And also just even give the insight alone of it's 90% neck up. Yeah. It's about perceived flaws. This is a perceived flaw. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That the world is telling me I should not be getting.
Exactly.
And I do still want you to work on them. So I also want to say, how do we also hold the dialectic of, can I accept? And how do we do that? Can I accept? Yeah. But can I also work on it? Right. And what does this mean about me? And all these other layered things.
Do you find that you beat yourself more up if you're having a bad day? I noticed that I have body dysmorphia too. I've had eating issues way back in the past. Yep. And I think my body looks terrible and fat, which is why I'm doing the affirmations. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I can't really I'll look at myself from the side. I'm like, there's nowhere else for me to go with the skinniness. What's going on in my life that I'm beating myself up for right now? So why am I hating myself?
You are so intuitive. Honestly, when did you learn that?
I don't know, maybe a few years ago I started putting it together. I'm like, this is weird because I don't have anywhere else to go. Yeah.
And the interesting part is, and this happens with my clients all the time, is that they'll remember, because I'll ask them how did you feel 2 days ago? And they might have felt hot. And now today they feel fat.
Okay, yeah.
And so I call it the fat attack. And so, I mean, it is not a clinical term, but I call it the fat attack. And what the fat attack is exactly that. It's that, as I'm going to say women right now, but it's not only women. We often don't feel safe about our anger. And so we do a thing called interjected. Oh my God. We turn it in on ourselves.
You just gave me the goosebumps. Yeah. What? You just gave me goosebumps. It's just so right on the money.
We take that anger and we go right back in. Yep. And this is a safe place. Unfortunately, it's not a safe place, but we think this is the safe vessel for us back inwards. Right. And so interjected anger for you and me becomes about something wrong with us. Right. And then we're already sensitive about this. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I look in the mirror that day and I have a complete breakdown that I now have jowls. Or you have a complete breakdown that you're like, oh my God, I am so fat today.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You couldn't be fatter.
It'll ruin my day.
Yeah. But it really is, you're probably mad at him.
It's very likely. That you could say that probably about a lot of different things I do.
Or the world, the universe, you're just here, so I took it out on you. But
no, for sure.
No, it's me. Definitely from me.
Definitely from you.
And she probably in the moment doesn't know how to feel it, hold it, contain it, address it, speak to it, because women are really not taught to do that. Mm-hmm. And we're very, very vulnerable to this. And then the industry at the same time is constantly telling us that there are things wrong. And so we get really stuck in this vulnerable position of I have this anger. It's turned inward. What is wrong with me? Oh, it must be that I'm fat.
Yep. Yeah. I can fix that.
I could Yeah,
I
totally.
can control that.
Yeah.
I think I can
Makes
control
sense.
that.
Yeah, you think you
And that's
can,
why
yeah.
more women die of eating disorders than anything else.
No way.
More than addiction, guys.
That says so much about our society.
and no one's talking about it because it's women.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
No, sorry. I mean, there are lots of men that deal with this too.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately at it's a growing rate, which is so sad. But you know, I'm coming from my own personal experience,
Yeah.
and most of the people that I work with
Are women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they target us. I mean, the algorithms are just sending us more and more and more and more of what we think we're supposed to look like.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't just like walk around and go like, oh my God, I made it to 47. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm doing fun things that I like. I happen to have like a little slight jowl. Okay.
That you think you have.
That
Like
you think you have.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we don't see it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, it's a perceived, right?
Absolutely.
These are
Mhm.
perceived.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know that I'm not completely crazy. Like I
Mhm.
know, like I said, my great grandmother has it. You know, it's happening, and I can see the littlest bits of it happening. But to the amount that it makes me crazy in my head, to the amount that I think about it and wanted to change it.
Mhm.
So after the drunk esthetician, I ended up having to shut it down, which is sad because it was a fun project. I had hired a therapist because I was like, okay, this is what is happening to me. I work with this with other people, but what I didn't actually know at the time, because I mostly worked in eating disorders, that it was 90% neck up. I actually learned that myself
Wow.
during like 2021 or something. And he was like, we need to identify some compulsions. And I was like, okay. And I didn't know. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to bed every night watching skincare videos. One after
Oh,
another,
yeah.
after another, after another.
Oh my
And not just
God.
skincare. I had moved into filler, Botox, plastic surgery.
Solutions for what you think that you
solutions
have.
for what's wrong with me.
And they're right there to give them to you too. They'll make you think you need them.
They do.
Playing on loop while you're sleeping. 'Cause all the information
Exactly.
you're
Oh my
having.
God. Yes.
do.
Going right
They
into your
do.
subconscious.
And I want to say right now, I support anybody in anything that they want to do. So if I have a client who's like, I've hated this nose my whole life, I want to get a nose job, I am not going to tell them no.
Right.
What we do is we make conscious what's happening, why they're doing it, setting like appropriate intentions, knowing that like it's probably not going to help their depression, but it might make them feel a little bit better about their nose. Because
Yeah.
some people think that like, if I change my nose,
Exactly.
I'm no longer going to be depressed.
Yeah.
Or I no longer am going to interject anger. No, you've been learning that for 40 something years.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to actually learn how to not do that. But I don't stop women, and I've done my own stuff. Like I have a little bit of lip filler. I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it
You
looks
know?
fantastic.
Thank you.
See,
I,
get the number.
Got it for my wedding, and I loved it. And you know, I don't want to stop anyone from that. But at the same, and that's what I'm saying like the dialectic. Well, I can't talk right now. The dialectic of like, how do we hold acceptance, not buy into homogenized beauty,
Mhm.
let ourselves be unique, let ourselves age, use skincare as self-care, right? All these things.
Mhm.
And not fall into the trap of, I need to be fixed.
Yeah.
I'm not enough.
Mhm.
I'm not enough is so huge.
I need to buy more.
Mm-hmm.
And not become, you know, a person that once sat on my couch that had like 48 plastic surgery routines.
Oh my God.
Surgeries, yeah. I mean,
I feel like when you buy stuff too online, you get that dopamine rush because you know that thing that you think is going to fix your whole life is coming. And then you get it and you're like, oh man, you know, like that didn't fix my life.
That didn't.
That lipstick didn't fix my life. Lip
It
plumper.
didn't.
No, but it feels good when
It
you do
does
it.
feel good. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on it? Like just from your own personal experience, like how do we continue to lean into skincare in a really healthy and safe, fun, good way and avoid the rest? How do we stay away from it?
My way of doing it is I don't look in the mirror all the time.
Hmm.
And I think we look in the mirror way too much. I'm not even sure we're supposed to be looking in the mirror as human beings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we supposed to know what we look like? I remember when I was a kid, you don't know what you look like. You just think you're just you.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're told you're fat, you're this, you're that. And then you start looking in the mirror and then you start picking yourself apart. So less focus on yourself
Yeah.
is a huge one.
I like that. I want to add like a other side to that coin because I think that's important. But I do agree when you go camping,
Mhm.
like I feel super beautiful when
Yeah.
I'm camping.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. Yeah, when I'm out there, I don't ever look at any reflection of myself. I just feel good.
You
so
can't
I'm
even tell
like,
how ugly you are when you're out
absolutely not. When
Yeah.
I'm looking at a mountain, I'm like, man, I'm unattractive.
there.
But I'm saying it with a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's so
It's-
true,
it's
though.
amazing.
Right? I mean, you just feel so good when
Mhm.
you're out there breathing the air and you're moving around. You wake up in the morning and you just feel super beautiful.
Yeah.
So I agree. And then I will say in the body dysmorphia world though, some people start avoiding looking at their face completely.
Mm.
I do that with my body and not with my face.
Yeah. And so sometimes the exposures are to not shut off your view on your Zoom every time or not avoid the mirror. And actually doing my own podcast and being filmed and seeing my face all the time
Yeah.
actually really helped within a structured way. So I'm not body checking or checking the mirror all the time.
Right.
But kind of regularly I have to sit and edit my videos and look at my face and go like, okay, that's who I am. And also, more importantly, I care about what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. And I'm so much more than my face anyway.
Absolutely.
But this exposure is good for people when they're avoiding.
I
And yeah,
agree.
you know if you're avoiding your body. Because either people body check
Mhm.
or they avoid.
yeah.
Did you ever do the body checking where you're like
Oh,
checking?
constantly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
would be this. Yeah. And then, but also I wouldn't look in the mirror. And I still to this day, like have a very difficult time looking at myself straight on because of the perceived flaws that I have, which is why I
Yeah.
do the body affirmations.
Really, really beautiful.
Yeah. So it's helping.
Do you ever go like, nope, I'm looking at my body. I'm going to accept it myself today.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard. I
That's
don't, yeah,
hard.
it's like I have to back into the
It's
mirror
really hard.
sometimes and then just be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not like, it's not easy sometimes.
No, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy for me.
Yeah.
It's not easy with all the work that I've done and all the stuff that I know and all the people that I help. It's still not easy.
Well, I mean, all you see, my algorithm is bikinis. So,
Yeah.
you know, and I love bathing suits. I just love bathing suits. I just think they're so cute. But
They are so cute.
I love the ads though when they have girls that actually look like real people.
yeah.
But then sometimes I'll get ones where it's just like super, super skinny girls. And then I'm like, I don't think I can do that. Like, and if I do, I'm like, that means I'm not going to be able to eat. And you know what I mean? Like, and it gets in your head.
It
And
does get in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say social media needs to be cracked down on a little bit for individuals. I don't want to like be anyone out there that's telling people they can't make content or do content.
Right.
I don't want to be part of those people, but I do think for ourselves it's important for us to maybe look at what we're following. But then again, like you said, you could just look at something for 2 seconds and it's going to start selling you ads
Every day.
So maybe it's how much time we spend on social media. I don't
Right.
know, but we do need to crack down on it a bit. And then what did help me was he was like, okay, so don't watch it for like an hour to 2 hours. Started to get crazy.
What, the
It was the
podcast?
pandemic.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
watching
Oh,
videos.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't mean that I couldn't watch videos. It meant that I, needed to crack down a little bit on how much I was watching the videos. And just knowing it was a compulsion was helping.
Just being accountable to it.
Being accountable. Knowing that avoiding the mirror was not helping me. Obviously not overlooking in the mirror.
Right.
And those things started to become really helpful. And then we started to talk about what my views were about my beauty and how I had grown up thinking that was like really a part of my self-worth. And the relationship between feelings and beauty, which I had already known about fat attacks from the eating disorder world, sort of kind of understanding this interjection of anger even more and how to address feelings so that when I felt, on the days I felt really ugly, to start to get suspicious with that and start to go, I might be feeling something else that I'm not addressing.
Absolutely.
That was really helpful. And then finally, one of the main things I worked on was who loves me, the relationships that I have and who loves me despite my beauty, like they could give 2 flying fucks if I look good that day or not.
They don't even see what
They
you're
don't-
No.
They don't barely even look at you.
They're barely, you know what I mean? Like my sister, for the love of God, she does not give a flying fuck
Oh my God, no.
how I look, right?
Yeah.
She just wants to like spend time with me and laugh or whatever,
Right.
you know? And so how many people those are that you have that are in your life, and making those relationships more important than any of the relationships that are based on your looks.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like unless you're like super sick or like there's like a huge change in like your face or whatever, they see you the same always. They don't see like, oh, no,
You fill in the blanks,
she's
too.
having a weird face day. Like, no, like it's just like, yo, hey, what's up? They like, you look the same, but to you, you're just knocking yourself down, or you're like, oh, they must see me like this, but no, they just love you for who you are. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's really cool. And then also when people get really sick, the occipital bone, we're talking about that. So the reason why I'm saying that is because they've actually tested women with eating disorders, body dysmorphia, and they actually start seeing differently. The brain shifts and they start to see differently.
Oh, wow.
As in, if someone is really deep in, when she, let's say she's looking at you, okay? I'm she and you're you.
Yeah. That was easy.
She's seeing glasses, the hair, your chin. She's breaking it up into pieces and not seeing you as a whole. Like you were saying, people fill it in.
Yeah.
Oh.
When people get sicker, their brain doesn't fill it in. It focuses on all the pieces. And so some of the work that they do, some of the neuro work that they do, someone take that word back, please. Whatever I said. The work that they do with the brain really is to try to give them pictures and have them look at the whole piece. So just look at Nikki as a whole, look at the room as a whole, look at the structure as the, whatever they're showing the person as a whole. And then to the face, look at your face as a whole, as opposed to a bunk nose, you know what I mean? Like a weird jowl.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Did I explain
no,
that clearly?
and I
Yeah.
have I would like
I'm not
to-
an expert in
Yeah.
that. It's something I learned
Yeah.
once. Okay.
I grew up with that. My mother would look, what we'd watch TV, and she'd be like, she's got like a weird ratio from like her nose to her lip, or like,
Yes.
like her ears are strange, or you know what I mean? And then I would start to look for that and be like, and then I took it into my adult life where I would be feeling self-conscious or like insecure about myself. And I'd be in like an open mic, and then a new girl would come and all the guys would be like, oh, hey, and, like paying attention. And I'd look over and I'd be like, oh, one of her socks is like wrapped around her, like hanging down. Like guys don't like that. Like, and I'm not even kidding you. That was like one of the things I said. I immediately go like, okay, that's the thing. That's the thing that my boyfriend's not going to be, attracted to her because of this one thing that only I am seeing.
So I mean, it's just, I wish I was an expert in this one. I had a cool term for this, but I don't. But I know it's true.
Yeah.
And
I've never heard anybody talk about it like that though. So
yeah, I
that's
mean,
really,
when
really
you're
interesting.
sick, you're looking at the pieces,
Right.
and you're breaking them up, as opposed to, which is more healthy visual, just like seeing things as a whole and putting all those pieces together. And like you said, filling them in and taking in the essence, as opposed to what's all the things that are broken.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that the brain actually changes, and that the sight actually changes, and the way it fires together changes based off of how a person has been thinking and looking at things their whole life.
So you take it from looking at yourself that way, and now you're looking outwards like that.
Yeah.
And I think, and then it's like, you're like, well, if they have that,
how we
then
see
I'm
the
so
world is
pretty.
how we see ourselves.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Like,
Yeah,
I believe that,
yeah.
like that Buddhist.
That's a really good point.
idea.
Yeah.
Is that why people one of the reasons maybe that why people have like a lot of plastic surgery, or they do a lot of work, and you're like, oh, are they just trying to like balance it, or do they only see their face in pieces?
I think that
like that in that move, like
I think that well, we don't know. I don't want to say everyone that's got plastic
Yeah,
surgery has
absolutely.
anything
Not
wrong with
everyone.
them. But I will say that most likely they were fixing things that they saw in pieces as opposed to a whole. And again, they're being influenced by the homogenized beauty. And also, who knows? When I first started hating my face, was when I was 27 and I started to look like my dad. And my dad left when I was 8. So go figure.
Oh, wow.
It's not just grandma's jowls. It's also the fact that like the way we look means things.
Yeah.
But we have to learn about those things, as opposed to getting caught up in our consumer society and down this rabbit hole and down this rabbit hole of like, I need to be fixed.
And they'll create the rabbit holes. It's right there for you if
It's
you're ready.
so
there.
Yeah. I'll step right into it.
Yeah. So
You-
I guess
yeah.
we're just saying, do a skincare routine,
Yeah.
fucking hum,
Yeah.
listen to
I
affirmations.
love that. Yeah.
And also notice if it's making you feel better or worse and why. Focus on, obviously I get it. You want shiny, glowing glass skin. Like, that's okay.
Right.
We're not saying don't get that, because I mean, that's why I joined too. But, where is it getting you? How do you feel? Are you feeling more better about yourself as you're doing it? Or are you feeling, less than?
Yeah.
Are these things coming up? Is it not good enough? Now, do you need another product? Now, do you need another, procedure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say? Okay. So, is there a way to like put it into just like a short phrase that somebody can be like, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm feeling shitty about myself right now. What inventory how do you take that? I mean, just be like, all right, I need to take inventory on what the hell's going on in my head, just to sort of, scan and see what's happening in your life and make a note of it.
Inventory on all the things we talked about. I like it though. I wish we had like a specific word for it where all the letters stood for something.
Yeah.
We need one of those.
Yeah.
I feel like everything you're saying is like as a lesson in like being present and being mindful, because you do have to be present and mindful to notice those things. Like, because paying attention to yourself when you're doing it, it's such a cool way to meditate while you're doing that.
Yeah. I think first of all, the question is like, does this make me feel better afterwards or not?
Exactly.
When you lay down in bed after you did it, when you were humming and all this stuff, do you feel like cool and good about yourself? Or are you going to bed and thinking like about the part of your face that you don't like?
Right.
So maybe that would be a clue.
Yeah.
I think everyone should be in therapy. I know we all are here.
I agree with you.
That's really helpful too, because the insight that you had, just that that you're not really fat that day, that you're probably angry, is because you've done so much work. You have so much insight now to know that you can be suspicious of your feelings and your thoughts. I think that's a big part of it, is we need to be suspicious of how we feel about
I don't think
things.
people know that your feelings aren't real all the time. You know what I mean?
They aren't. They can be validated, but they don't need to be acted on.
Right.
Right. And I think that's, or we can get curious about them. Like, where is this coming from? Or like, why? But I still love your idea of like there being like a thing in the routine where you can go, is this working or am I getting sicker?
I think that's probably enough. Like take a check at the end and just be like, am I feeling better or worse than I did before I started doing this?
Yeah, maybe it's just that simple.
Yeah.
Does this make me feel good? And maybe even weekly, like, am I feeling good about this or am I feeling worse? Is my glass skin benefiting me? Or is it just making me notice my nose more?
Yeah.
Right.
Am I avoiding or am I over checking?
Right.
Those are really big things. Am I buying skincare within my budget?
That's a big one. Yeah. That'll tell you right off the bat that you're an addict at that point. You're
And I know this
Yeah.
because I buy way outside my budget.
God, I should have tried to sell you some stuff when you came
Don't
over.
tell me. Oh yeah, I will buy it. But you know what actually has happened? I've gotten lazier too, because I was able to cut myself off a bit. I look every once in a while. I go like, I'm gonna look at some skincare videos. I actually really like it. And I love facial massage, and I want more.
Yeah.
And I still am going to somewhat fight some of the like aging that I know my family is prone to, for example, which is possible, cancer.
Yeah.
Or, the fact that like our faces don't have like wide jaws. So it just sort of melts forward. Like, that's fine. I'm going to probably fight that a little bit. Also knowing that like aging is beautiful and it's going to happen no matter what. And no one that loves me really cares.
Absolutely.
But I had a point that I was going to say before I said that. Anyway. And I think that, what was I saying?
Sort of like you're looking
topic
at
too
yourself
much.
and trying to accept the things that you have in your head.
I think this is a good sign that even my brain is trying to protect me from this information.
Wow, that's interesting. That is really interesting.
Well, that's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
We like block it.
That's so crazy. Yeah. You just like, yeah. I've been in therapy where she's been like, wait, where did you go? I'm like, oh shit. I forget. I don't know. I was gone.
Yeah, because our brain's trying to protect us all the time.
Mhm.
And so when we say the wrong thing or when we block out like that, I don't even know what I was talking about, but I know I love skincare. I want you to love skincare. I want you to love skincare because you do.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it's really important that we keep taking note of these things and that we make sure we're doing it in like a loving, beautiful way.
I think even just bringing awareness to it as we wrap up
Yeah.
is so important.
What a dud. I ended it like that.
No. Here, you have something else?
No, give me something else to say.
Use your closer.
It's my closer. Go to therapy. Everyone needs it.
Yeah.
Who do?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And it's so much more accessible now than it was, even a few years ago.
I know what I was going to say.
Oh, okay, great.
I was just going to say, I
did.
got lazier because now I pulled back and I just have my products now that I love.
Yeah. And
I just like kind of stick to those. And sometimes, every once in a while, I let someone add something.
Right.
If I trust them. Other than that, I just like, it makes me feel good at this point. I think that's what's important.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I am just so glad, like I said, that there has been an awareness brought to this. And it needs to be talked about more, honestly. I definitely want to have you back and talk about it more.
I would love to talk about it more.
Yeah.
And maybe we can even like go, what do we want to talk about in terms of it? Or like, how it affects women of our age.
Yeah. Or we could just go on Instagram and just pick people apart.
You mentioned therapy.
Yeah.
So that could be therapy.
Yeah, that's very therapeutic.
Does she
for me.
realize that she doesn't look like herself anymore?
I'm meditating. She sucks. Yeah, you just keep going down the line.
Yeah. And I love talking about this type of stuff because, as you know, on my podcast, the whole point is to just try to talk in a way that isn't too clinical, to make mental health more palatable for people with topics like this.
Yeah.
Where this is real life stuff, no one's doing it wrong or right, but how can we get better guidance? Not from just like a random, sorry, Gen X, Gen Z kid, you know what I mean? Just like on TikTok going like, whatever. But like just some licensed people going, okay, skincare is rad. Also, be careful of this.
Yeah, just like anything.
Just like anything.
Well, I think I know, I can tell just by talking to you, you're a fabulous therapist, Alicia.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you came to see me.
I'm so excited.
From Jessica.
Yes.
And her podcast. And then I was like, well, if it's good, she's good enough for Jessica. She's good enough for me. So
yeah. You were like, I guess.
Yeah. No. And then you brought up the topic and I was like, yes, we haven't covered that. And I think that's so fabulous. So I just want to thank you so much for coming and being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're for sure going to have you back. I
hope you guys cut out all the parts that I blanked out on.
I'm just too busy just finding your flaws right now.
No, right? I need to accept my flaws right in front of you all.
You think they're flaws, and when people hear you, they're just like, oh, they're having a conversation.
They're human.
They're not picking apart your ums and ahs and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And if you are picking apart our ums and ahs, you have something wrong with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And go to therapy.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice anything, but that's just me. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, this will be out next Wednesday.
Oh, let's find out where can people find you on social media.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Oh my God, please. Okay. So please follow my podcast as well, Zannyland, because it is such a project that is so near and dear to my heart. And it is always talking to comedians and it's always about mental health. Okay. That's number one. Number two, I am AliciaRacine.com. If you want to look at my website and you want to learn about my practice, some of the people that work for me, if you're interested in therapy or want help support finding therapy, I also have a Substack. Is that enough? I'm Alicia Racine.
Okay.
With an A is actually the like ampersand sign.
Okay.
Okay. And then Zannyland, you can also follow on any social media.
I feel like if you just typed in your all three names, you're gonna find that all of that stuff's gonna
come. If you put
on.
Alicia Racine Fink, it's all gonna be there.
Yeah, no one else has been named that name before.
It just used to be Alicia Racine, but I got married.
What a Fink.
So I added Fink, right?
right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, this will be out at 3 a.m. On Wednesday.
That's fast.
Yeah, I know.
We
It's just
like
we don't have any in the
Oh,
bank. We burned through them when I went away for a little while. So yeah, we need to catch up on that. But so we'll see you guys next week. So take care.
So nice to
Bye.
see you.